Come on, praise the Lord, everybody. Praise the Lord, everybody. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. It is a good thing to give thanks and praise unto our God. So, Father, we open our mouths and we give praise to you now because you've been an excellent God. You've been an amazing God. You've been a merciful God. You've been a faithful God, and you deserve the glory. You deserve honor. So, God, it won't take much for us to give you praise because we have entered into your gates with thanksgiving and we are into your courts with praise. And, God, we are thankful for every good and perfect thing that you've done. So we're going to give you glory and declare that we're here to praise you forever and ever and ever. Anybody got a praise on you today? Hallelujah. Song says, I praise your name, your holy name, yes. I praise your name, your holy name. I praise your name, not just today, but always, now and forever. Lord, I praise your name. Help me say, I praise your name, your holy name. Your holy name. I praise your name. I praise your name, your holy name. I praise your name. Not just today, but always, now and forever. One more time. I praise your name, your holy name. I praise your name. I praise your name, your holy name. I praise your name. Not just today, always, now and forever. One more time. I praise your name. Your holy name. Not just today, but always, now and forever. Lord, I praise your name. When the praises go up, blessings come down. When the praises go up, blessings come down. When the praises go up, blessings come down. When the praises go up, look for the blessing is right behind your praise. Say yeah, blessings come down. Say yeah. My blessings come down. Say yeah, blessings come down. Say yeah, blessings come down. When the praises go up, when the praises go up, when the praises go up, blessings come down. When the praises go up, when the praises go up, when the praises go up, let's tell them right here. I love this part. It says, God's got a blessing for you. Yes, he does. Say, God's got a blessing for you. If you believe it, why don't you sing it? Say, God. Anybody believe that today? God's got a blessing. Yes, he does. Say, God. He's got your healing today. Say, God. Listen to this part. I love this. You can have it. Reach up and grab it. Say, you can have it. Reach up and grab it. You can. Reach up.
to This Is My Story. This Is My Story is something different we're doing here at Bayview. It's a series of narratives, and they will reveal how experiencing God's love, His grace, His mercy, and the things that make God God bring about a new hope. These stories will highlight going from struggles to good fortune. They will highlight going from uncertainty to certainty. They will highlight going from loss to triumphs. And these stories will also show how it feels to be impacted by the favor and love of God. Those you'll see on This Is My Story will be sharing their stories, and by sharing their stories, they will become catalysts to encourage us to keep trusting God and that all things continue to work together for those who love the Lord. These stories will capture every emotion. Sometimes they'll be heart-wrenching. Sometimes they'll be thought-provoking. Sometimes you may cry, and a lot of times you may laugh. So sit back, get ready to enjoy. This is my story. So for this first session of This Is My Story, we're featuring a group of young men who mean a lot to me. If I've had any kind of success here at the Bayview Church, what I can say with 100% certainty is it has so much less to do with me than it does with other people. It's kind of hard for me to talk about because I know I couldn't have done anything that we've done here at Bayview by myself. And so I feel so indebted to those who've come alongside me and believed in me enough to believe that I was following God and what God has called me to do. One group that really makes a difference, especially in this pandemic. They've always made a major difference at the Bayview Church. But in this pandemic, their contributions, their hard work, their dedication, their prowess, their professionalism, their gifting, and their talents have all risen to the top. I want you to meet the band. They go by a lot of names. Little Bros, Home Team, the band, the guys. But I want you to see how this band came together. They merged together. They blended together. As a matter of fact, what you're going to get a glimpse of is the blending of a band. These four guys are like my little brothers, Chris, Marcus, Fly Guy Bird, Ron, and Noah. They're all accomplished musicians in their own right. But their fathers, their husbands, their brothers, they're outstanding black men. I want you to meet them. I want you to know them. I want you to appreciate them. I want you to feel about them as I feel about them. They're my brothers. I love them. And I wouldn't trade them for anybody in the world. So sit back, meet the Home Team as you enjoy the blending of a band.
I think we should put a mask on.
The mask on?
That is hilarious.
I think we should, you know.
Here, huddled up, talking about Creed,
Hey, they're gonna be a little weird. You all should be filming.
Oh, this is
period.
hilarious.
Like, don't stop filming at all.
You're huddled up.
Hey,
So tell us the 6 feet total.
I was gonna risk it all.
This is 6 feet
I'm
total.
over here.
I feel it though.
Okay.
We all within 6 feet.
This all is 6 feet right here. That's funny.
How
They
does
took our temperature at church today, so we good.
how was the coronavirus?
Hey, they took our tent. We was
They took our
already.
temp. They said we was good.
We was
All
already.
right, then
Yeah, we got cleared for this interview.
We was already on the instrument.
We are clear for
It was over with by that time.
Yeah.
All right, so first thing I want you all to do is just kind of go around, introduce yourself, because not everybody in the church knows you, obviously. Your names. Introduce yourself, what instrument you play, and just do that for right now.
Ron Purvis, drums, and I've been at Baby for 4 years.
I'm Kevin. I play lead guitar, play bass. I've been at Bayview maybe
And keys.
almost a year.
In Oregon.
Look. Keys just a little bit. I've been at Bayview for about a year.
And I'm Noah. I play bass here. And
Yeah, come on.
Saxophone.
Okay. Ukulele, guitar, keys,
Saxophone,
drums,
trumpet,
saxophone,
tuba,
harmonica.
xylophone. I got you, bro.
Oh, and how long I've been here, my bad. I think 2 years. I think just a little over 2 years now.
Marcus, Curtis. I've been here in the band for about this year is 3. I've been here for 3 years now. I play organ, keys and drums and all the other instruments. Yeah.
So much.
All of it. Boy, he said, "Hey, even name all of them. I play all of them."
That you would think somebody would play.
All right, I'm Chris. I play keys, organ. That's the same.
It's different.
I play drums. When Ron's late.
Yeah, you
I can
drums.
play. I mean, bass a little bit, but yeah, that's it.
How long have you been at Bayview?
Oh, then 4 years. Man, we got baby at the same time. He came with me. We came together. We was a package deal.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's like I guess letting people play their positions and understanding what people are good at and like letting them do what they're good at. I think that's what makes our band unique. Is just letting people do what they're good at. I think people assume that the MD is like automatically the best person in the band. At Bayview, that's completely the opposite. Yeah, these guys, and I say this often, these guys make me look good. You know, you guys see me up there directing and stuff, but nah, these are the guys that really make it happen, and I just get to be there. I mean, I'm good too, don't get it twisted. Nah, but it's like, it's a collective effort. I don't want to ever make it seem like it's about me. These guys are like incredible. So I think it's about like, yeah, these guys, everybody playing their position, and it works. It's very, ego-less, if that makes sense.
And I think depending on like the people that get here, like all of us pretty much know each other. Me, Noah, Chris, and Marcus, and come in. It's just it fit. It's like we didn't have to like train guys how to act and stuff like it. Just went together. So God puts people in place where they just fit the puzzle. You know what I'm saying? So, and Bird coming on is.
The wild card.
Come on.
And the people that put it together. Too. Like
That's true. Yeah.
all the GMs and the recruiters.
T. Brooks.
You know,
Hey, shout out to Phil Jackson. T. Brooks, Phil Jackson.
Yeah, that put this draft together.
That's facts, man. Yeah.
So,
For real.
shout out to them. Yeah, I've been doing music all my life. I've never done anything else or like had a corporate job or anything like that. So like it's been music. My mom was a singer, and that's how I started playing. Going around the city playing, backing her up, and it's just been a part of my. I'm fortunate to be able to say that. That I do what I love as my job and career. Yeah, I've done it all my life. Never done anything else.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, well, agreeing with Marcus, like my mom's a singer since I was born. Well, before I was born, my grandmother's a pastor, my brother a pastor, my dad's a pastor. So I grew up in church and grew up literally just listening to all the songs, sitting there watching, wanting to play, being on the sideline with the sweats ready. Like, look, let me play. I can't even
With the
play yet,
breakaways.
but I'm ready.
You got the breakaways.
Yeah, I'm ready. Put me in the game, coach. But it's been all my life, and so like Marcus said, I've been a full-time musician since I was like 12 or 13. That's when I first started getting paid to play in churches.
Good
Yeah.
Lord.
So
Same.
yeah, it's been like that forever. Traveling with my grandma, going to play for her while she preached. Traveling with my mom, going to play for her while she sang. It's been like that. Like you said, we are fortunate to do what we love to do, and be compensated. Like really be appreciated.
Absolutely.
That's what
It's more than the compensation. It's
People
more
wanna have that
appreciated than
Absolutely.
anything.
Yeah.
'Cause, I've been in a lot of churches. I told you I've been in church all my life. I've been in a lot of churches, and like pastors don't treat their musicians right. Not all the time. I ain't gonna say all pastors do that, but a lot of pastors don't treat their musicians right. They just, oh, you here? You supposed to play? Whatever. here's this chicken sandwich, chicken dinner.
Exactly.
Here goes some gas. Go on about your business. Nah,
That's the thing about T Brooks though. T Brooks
Yeah.
has that musician's heart.
yeah, he's genuine.
So yeah, you
That's
know,
genuine.
yeah,
Yeah.
man,
That's
he had,
giving the musician.
yeah, man, he's
That's based on his character. You
yeah,
know?
absolutely,
You don't find a lot of pastors like that.
not at all.
Definitely. And he plays a mean B3 too.
Yeah.
He trying to get a raise.
I gave you your one. You play that organ, doc.
I've been playing since I was about 4, and it might have been a Kirk Franklin album. I don't know, something that just I heard music and it's like, oh, I have to be a part of this. Had a little keyboard, and then the adapter went bad. Like there was a short in the cord, so I had to like prop it up. I had like the little footstool. There was a footstool in the house. I used that, leaned it over, and kind of propped it up to hold the adapter in. And I would play it like that, and then my grandma came in. She seen the furniture all tilted over. She's like, "What are you doing?" She picked it up, and the keyboard died. I was like, "Grandma, you killed my keyboard." She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I tried to finagle the cord to get it, back again. It had a short in it, and I just couldn't get it. So she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go buy you a keyboard." So we went to Fedco. I don't know if y'all remember Fedco.
Yeah, I remember
That's
Fedco,
going
yeah.
back before Walmart.
Old
I think
school,
that's
yeah.
before Walmart.
Your age.
Yeah.
You're right about that, man. You're right.
Yeah, and she got me a Yamaha something, PSR 400 or something like that. Just a little keyboard, had little beats built in and all that kind of stuff. And I just remember even then putting like piano with bass and just kind of like putting it, you can do multi-tracks. It was pretty cool. But yeah, ever since I was about 4.
I'm the same. I don't remember what age. My mom said I've been doing this my whole life. I'll be in the kitchen with the pots and pans, or outside with the garbage cans, or I still be in the bathroom doing what I do.
Come on now. Come on, man.
Yeah, it's just it's just always been a part of me. It's been I guess I want to say a safe place for me. You know what I mean? I've always been able to just like go inside myself and then go to music when I didn't feel like safe. I struggle with anxiety a lot. You know what I mean? So like music, like I don't know, it makes me feel safe. You know what I mean? Like when I'm just alone and able to just listen or just make music, it's been a safe space for me. So yeah.
Same
Since
with me.
I was alive, yeah. My bad.
No, it's all good. Same with me. My dad played drums in church, and just followed in his footsteps, I guess. Yeah. So it's been my mom sung in church, my sisters sing in church and stuff. So it's pretty much the same story as these gentlemen have too. So it's been in my life for as long as I can remember. Watching Cosby Show, and that's when I first like fell in love with like jazz. Watching Cosby shows, he would always play. He would always play Ella Fitzgerald or something like that, or Miles Davis or something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is just jazz that he always played was so smooth. It was so smooth. It was never overbearing. It was just nice, and so that's when I fell in love with jazz.
I gotta tell y'all something though. So when I was little at church, I used to pray. Sometimes the drummer would be late. You know how like
So you get
like second or third string? Bro, I used to pray that his leg, and it's bad, I used to pray his leg was broken or something so that I can, so it'd be my chance to play. Like,
Or he overslept.
and you can see, hey, look at that. You know how that leg be, when he ain't there, that leg be shaking? You like,
Hey,
man,
we got
let
like
me-
5 more
man,
minutes. I'm
like,
guilty.
if he ain't here, yeah, let me in, man.
I'm guilty of that. I prayed a couple of those prayers. God answered a couple of those.
Don't be too bad, but let him not show up so I can,
Oh my God. Yeah, me and Tim used to play, and it's like 1-2, 1-2.
Oh, yeah.
Man, when Tim didn't
You had to
show
fight
up,
over, you have to fight over stir
oh
up the
my
gift.
God, man. Yeah, man. If he got to play a song that I wanted to play, and he stayed on the drums, ooh,
Oh,
those tears.
now you play Order My Steps. I played that last week. I get to play Jesus is Real.
Exactly. I said, man, them tears is coming, man. I gotta go outside, man.
You heard. I'm like, nothing worse than I had my older brother. He played drums, and my cousin played drums. He kicked me off every time.
Oh my God.
Every time.
But
I'm
what
talking
song-
about.
but what song
It
did-
don't even matter. Song, offering, dismissal.
Hey, that was a little
Anytime.
leading to your calling. You need to play guitar.
Hey,
No.
come on, cuz, get off. Like, hold on.
So all of you are speaking from passion, from love. I just from being artists. Chris started to allude to an area I want to go. Psychologists will tell you that musicians have neuroplasticity, meaning you see music, right? And it becomes something for you. Chris said it became a safe space because for him, it may be a place where his anxiety can find peace.
Same thing, definitely safe, a place of expression, kind of more on the quiet side, the only people who get to like see me actually like speak or open up are, people that like know me, but to the rest of the world, I'm pretty quiet. So music is kind of like, and I'm an introvert too, so, but when I'm with music, it's like, almost like if you've seen the movie Avatar, like where he becomes a bigger, he's a little faster, and so yeah, it's kind of like that, and it's, I don't know, it's just kind of been my way of life. I grew up most of my life only child, didn't really have siblings till I was about 13, but I just remember just being just so intoxicated with music, I didn't really get into basketball. I did play some football like in high school, but the most of my growing up was I was isolated, and I just was in my room a lot with my keyboard, and it was kind of like my way of expression. And definitely I didn't have both parents, so it definitely like filled like a gap. So music is huge to me. Yeah, it's like times where I didn't have whatever, music was always there.
Yeah, I think it's the same. It's like for me too. I think it's therapeutic for me too, because especially being at work and me working by myself, I just have time to just listen to whatever music I want. You know what I'm saying? It just, the place that it puts me in, it's just, I don't know if I can explain it. Like I think you feel, I think you feel free at times. Like I expressed this to Chris, I think a while back, and I told him, I said, especially me going to rehearsals, sometimes I love it because I get to play drums, I get to, I get to be like I get to be free, I guess, just like a way of escape for me. So music, and I've never dealt with anxiety, so I don't know how that feels. But my wife, my wife deals with anxiety, so I know music for her is really big when she's dealing with certain things and stuff like that. So putting myself in her shoes or Chris's shoes or whoever has anxiety, just trying to, kind of see like, man, how do they feel, but I don't know. I listen to every kind of music. I just love it. I just love it. I like gospel. I mean, it's just like times you feel like you want to listen to gospel. Sometimes you feel like, listening to.
Oh, they know what time it is.
Country.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Spiritual. They know.
I'm just saying, like, I love it, man. I love it.
Music definitely is therapeutic. It's because it's a universal language. You can listen to a song, not know none of the lyrics to it, but the chord progressions in it, melody, how it's moving, the melody of it, like touch you what you ain't even like. Dang, I ain't even know the song. It's some Spanish they speaking or something. I don't know nothing they talking about, but it feel good. Like music is so important. I feel like it's important to a lot of people in the world, especially like I'm gonna say majority of people in the world, who really like lock in with music because. Like, for real, I done been to some of the lowest points in my life, and it was music that was like, well, of course it was God, but it was music that was like, man, okay, this made me feel better, or, man, even, like, I done had times when it was just me, my brother, and my sisters, my two sisters, and we just sit around, like, as kids, singing. Like, my dad, he sung in a quartet group for years, my mom sung with many choirs and stuff, so even when they was at work, and it's just me, my brother, and the sisters at the crib, we singing, keep ourselves occupied. We ain't have no cable. We was broke, And like I pull my guitar out, my brother pull his keyboard out. We'll sing for like hours, and just that'll be our happy time, like that. And that actually brought us, like even just brothers and sisters being siblings, that brought us close as heck, just to sing together and like share music together. It's definitely music definitely is therapeutic.
I guess for me, I guess I'm agreeing with everybody else because it is familiar. Like, it's a safe and free space. I guess it would also be a place. I guess it's just for me. You know what I mean? Like, I guess when I'm in music or making music or listening to music, it just feels like I own it. You know, and it's just my space. I guess. And I guess the result of that is being, you know, feeling of freedom and just being safe, you know, because it's mine, you know. I guess I relate to the only child thing, so like, I mean, I embrace that fully. So I mean, it's just my space, and it allows me to be, you know, I guess however I need to be or however I want to be, you know, and express myself that way. So yeah.
I honestly feel like it saved my life, honestly. I mean, I guess that might sound cliche, but yeah, music saved my life. Like, I never felt like I fit. I
Gotta die.
But I don't know, man. Like, I thank God for music, man. I love it. I love it, man. Like, yeah, I love it. I love it. And like I said, I didn't think I fit a lot of places, and I often felt like that was the issue because I didn't fit. I didn't know how to sound like anybody. I didn't know how to, you know what I mean? But I found my spot in music, and I feel like it's big enough. And that's what I'm grateful for. Like, I feel like that's big enough for us all. You know what I mean? So that's what I guess I'm most grateful for. It's big enough. Like, it's enough space for us all to, like, you know what I mean, be ourselves. And it just somehow God brings it together week in, week in and week out. He brings it together, you know. So.
With no egos, no attitudes though either. And that'd be another thing. That's what make it so easy and make it so more beautiful. Like, just like for real. This is my first year, like for real, locking in with y'all. Just even this year, it's just been like, man, y'all helped me grow to play as a better musician. Even as to being a better man, I see how y'all carry yourselves, you know what I'm saying? I look up to y'all, you know. All y'all, I'm the youngest, you know. But I still look up to y'all, and you know, even like us just gelling together and locking in, like some said that, like, man, how did that even get here? You right here. And it's beautiful though, man. Like, for real.
That's what I say. A lot of people just don't know. They see us every week. They just don't know what Noah's going through. They don't know what Marcus is going through. They don't know what Bird, Chris is going through. Me. So, you know, when we have a chance to get together and play, and even play outside of church, it's just, yeah. It's one of those things. Yeah, it's an outlet. So, you know, we thank everybody for prayers, man. Because continue to pray for us, man, because we need it, man. Families and stuff like that, you know. So, but, yeah, man, just this is what we love to do. This is how we escape sometimes, you know. So
music can turn my frown upside down. That's the easiest way I could just say it. But, oh yeah, going through, man, so many different things, losses. Okay, so within the last 2 years now. Yeah, 2 years now. Lost my mother-in-law, my wife's mom, and times, you know, as you can imagine, got extremely tough, and we're still coming out. But they say you never heal over that. But I mean, music for me has lifted my spirits. I mean, I guess I could go to therapy or, you know, there's so many other things, but music, I mean, it just speaks right to your soul, and it softens your heart, you know. But I just coming to rehearsal and, you know, practicing with these guys, it was like, I don't know, it was almost like I left, you know, San Diego and, you know, went to just some other vacation spot. Like, it was like, yeah, for that time, you know, hour and a half or whatever it was like, man, I forgot that I owed money on that T-Mobile bill or whatever.
That's right.
Whatever was stressing me out, you know, whatever it was. I mean, it's just like, man, for this time, it's like everything is okay, you know, and or you're not thinking about anything, you know. So definitely, it turns my day around. It brings joy to my soul. Man.
Yeah, same here, I guess. Yeah, I mean, if you can imagine, I guess like any other outlet, because I can't really imagine for people, I guess, who aren't musically inclined. You know, I don't know what they go through or what their outlets are, but like, I mean, it's the same as any other like outlet or counseling class. You know what I mean, or you know, therapy session or something like that. It just feels that way. Music is, I mean, it's definitely brought me through all of my, I mean, it's all I've had, you know, all of my times, my lows and highs, you know. Music it's always there. My mom is a singer, so I mean, her voice and her sound would never leave me. So I guess that's definitely, you know, carried me through, and it's gonna always carry. It's gonna carry my whole family. I'm sure, for my children, you know, it's gonna carry us for sure, because it's such a big part, I guess.
You gotta mention grandma too.
Yeah,
You gotta mention grandma too, bro. You can't.
And my granny, yeah. I mean, yeah, all singers in my family, so I hear that daily, you know. So yeah,
music definitely done brought I'm pretty sure like majority of people, anybody could like relate to like music, you know, bringing them out of their low points like of life, like almost anything you're going through. Like you're gonna find that one song that be like, all right, this made me feel a little better. But just like Marcus was saying, like my grandma's a pastor. I grew up in church. Like I literally, like I feel like at my low points, I literally hear my granny like praying for me and like for real, like and they do something for me. Like I can hear her like for real, like hooping and all that, like gee, all that. Like okay, I'm be cool. It was clean. It was a little bad. But yeah, I hear that, and then like even still sometimes, like I got a little press CD my granny made like years ago, and like for real, like if I'm getting to like one of them points, I'm just like, man, I'm low. I pop that joint in and like listen to her pray for like 2 hours, just let it play. But I mean, like he said, like what what I'm trying to say is what we've been birthed in or whatever we've been like grew up in. Like I know church, like that's all I've been in all my life. That's what's birthed up in me. So if I know my low points is like the devil trying to come at me, you know, like with anything, I'm going to what I know. I'm finna go get some prayer. I'm finna go pray myself. I'm finna call somebody, you know, or pop in that CD. Because if it's just me, Granny, and God, you know, I'll take that chance.
There you go.
Let's remove our thoughts from family or the journey and just look at your specific craft, your specific musicianship with the instruments that you play. What have been the toughest parts of you developing yourself?
Myself.
That's what I was gonna say.
Myself. That's I mean, yeah.
You want us to elaborate? I mean, everything is growing pains, especially like being a musician. Like you gonna have them hurts and they tell you get off, or you too loud, or I'll rebuke. No, all my life, or
And this
you know, it's
we got twisted.
Oh Lord.
when they stop talking to you, that's when you know it's real. Like you can tell me the shit, you know, you gonna give me the fist.
With the twist though, the fist with the twist.
Yeah, but I mean, it's really just self, because it's like you want yourself to do better. You want yourself to get better on your instrument and your craft, you know. It's up to that person with the self-discipline and actually putting in the time to actually get better, you know. That's what I think, you know.
So for all of it.
And not making excuses too. Like, you know, I used to do it a lot because, you know, I work, you know, when I was younger, so you know I wanted to do it full time, but I just knew I didn't have it like most drummers have it. Most drummers have it like at a young age where you know, like, oh yeah, he's different. So, you know, me knowing that I don't have that.
He felt like he did.
No, I
say yeah, because
no,
Because he got it. That's
no, I'm
how we
talking.
met, 'cause
So
he
now,
had it.
so now, yeah, maybe. But there's only a few people that probably leave because you know Tim, my cousin was
You had it then, Dre.
yeah, but I just didn't feel like because I think
He's so honest.
but I think I was trying to like
I feel you though.
like I don't know, like be what they were being,
Yeah.
like play like them,
Because
because that's what
be yourself. And that's the
But it
main
took me a
thing.
long time to figure out just like to be yourself, be confident. Because when you're not confident, oh my
Yeah.
god,
It's toughest part.
oh my god, when you're not confident, you get slammed.
I'd rather
every time.
sound terrible and be confident than to play unconfident and sound all right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like,
That's what I was saying earlier, though. That's what I
Yeah.
thought was the curse, is because I didn't know. Like, it was a whole bunch of other people that I thought was better than me.
Right,
you know
right,
what I mean?
right.
And so, and I didn't know how to sound like them. You know what I mean? And so when I wasn't able to sound like them, I felt like I was a failure.
Gotcha.
And now,
Right,
I
right.
guess at how old am I now? 37. Now I'm starting to see that that's been you don't hey. turn around. Yeah, I'm starting to see that that's been the gift.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Is being able to like be myself. You know what I mean? And that I do have my own sound. But as before, I thought that was the issue, and Marcus actually helped me out a lot with that because I used to be in here and be like, I run everything by him, and we be in the studio every day. I'm running things by him. I'm like, man, how that sound? I don't know, and he'd be like, I don't know what to tell you. He said, because that sounds great. Like, I'm not finna pat you. I mean, that sounds amazing. So you need to go home and think about that. But that's good. You know what I mean? And that kind of like being around a group like this kind of helped me. You know, because again, I was not able to sound like other people, and that was an aspiration of mine at a young. You know what I mean? Just growing up around musicians that are good and trying to duplicate their sounds and stuff. And it was just like, God never gave it to me. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
he never allowed me to like sound like somebody else, you know? But again, now I'm grateful for it, you know? Because
you gave your own sound.
he did, and I'm grateful for it now.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah.
So I'm hearing, you know, just kind of the journey, some of the emotions, that the safe space. At what point did you see what you're doing shift from just natural born talent to your gifts actually ministering to you?
You said
I
when?
think it's.
When, how did that shift happen?
I think the ministry for me was, I guess, right at the beginning. I guess that's what would have started there for sure. Like, I mean, the fact that I even knew how to play "My Life Is in Your Hands." That was my first song I ever learned how to play. "My Life Is in Your Hand." I mean, how wowing could that's a great start, you know, for ministry. You know what I mean? Just to minister to me, because it's like, oh, I can do this, you know. And you play your next song, and I mean, yeah. And the more you grow in it, the more I'm sure all of us grew in it. The more it just became like, you know, a ministry to me, you know. And I don't want to change the question, like the ministry for other people, but to me, like that's when it started ministering to me, like right from the beginning. Like the first song was like, okay, we own something.
So for you, Marcus, the confidence turned into, or the ability to play turned into this confidence.
Yeah.
When did you hear God start speaking to you over your life as you were a musician?
I guess naturally, just you know, playing in church, serving in church every week, and you know, I think I may have started playing in church at 13. You know, a mixture of learning how to play and just, I guess, grasping the thought of, man, this is helping people, I guess, and this is. Yeah. Like, you know, I guess my granny was always the first one. I knew it was helping her because she's shouting and she crying, and it's like I'm sure she's excited that I'm playing, but like it's like, oh, maybe that's helping. You know, you know. So yeah, I guess when I first started, just noticing and seeing my surroundings and seeing, you know, yeah, it's like, okay, you know, it was definitely a calling for sure. I guess, you know,
A guide.
Also, I think the opportunities God puts in your place, I think that's His way of telling you, like, you might want to keep going. Like, there's plenty of times I was just like, nah, man, I'm gonna work full time. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that, and it just always pulls me back to drums. Like, I'm like, I don't know how many times I don't quit drums in my lifetime.
Some
Like,
keeps pulling me back.
yeah, I just like, yeah, like, oh, I'm not gonna play no more. Nah, I'm good. Like, I don't have what they have. I'm done. But I just think something. I guess it's Him. Yeah, something just telling you like, oh, you got to keep going. Then you find yourself practicing. Then you find yourself, getting opportunities to play for people, and you're like, maybe I should keep it going a little bit. So I think for me, it's I feel like just the opportunities that God puts in, in your journey, to prove to you that, hey man, this is what you should be doing. You have a gift. You got to use it, man.
Nice. I guess I'll go. I would probably say around the age 7 or 8, I noticed that it took a ministry turn. I think prior to that, I was just, doing it as a hobby, I guess you can say. But then my mom was the children's choir director, and she's like, "Oh, I want you to sing and play one of these, Sundays." And I remember singing "I Love You, Lord" today. That was like the first song I ever played or sung live in the public's hearing. Yeah, so yeah, I played that, and the response, like, I was like wowed by the response. I mean, people were like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, I was blessed by, and I'm like, wow, like I didn't realize what an impact you can make just by using your gifts for God. The very thing He gave you, just giving it back to Him and blessing other lives. So I've always prayed the prayer that, like, talent, yeah, definitely is something that I pursue, and I'm trying to get better every day. But more importantly, like, my prayer is that when someone hears me play, or anything that I'm involved in, like, they go from one state to another. I think that's what's most important. We can definitely wow you with tricks and all this runs and cool things that get you happy, excited, whatever. But if you haven't changed, if it doesn't change you, then it's like tinkling cymbals and whatever.
Sounding brass.
Yeah. Yeah, so definitely that's my prayer. Like, if you hear me play, it's like, man, I was sad before, but God used me to uplift your spirit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, well, I'm gonna tell a quick. I know you said don't bring the family in, but I'm gonna tell a quick little backstory, because my dad was the guitar player for my grandma's church ever since like I was born. So me being the kid, like, got my dad's last name, first name, and everything. I'm sitting there on the sideline like, okay, I want to play drums, but I really want to play guitar. Mm-hmm. I'm like 6 or 7 at the time. They finally got me a guitar. He gave me a guitar. He didn't even have no strings on it. And he was just, yeah, you can take that,
But you was happy with that.
Yeah, like, I was, what? Yeah. I'm in there, they ain't playing nothing, bro. I'm talking about no strings on it. So then about like 12, maybe about 10 or 12, they gave me an actual real guitar. And the very first song I learned how to play was some Hezekiah Walker song. It was one of them old joints. And when I learned how to play it, and I was like super excited, I showed my dad, showed my mom, and I went to church, and my granny said, come here, come play some. Oh, I pulled out that song. Because I knew how to play. That was about the only song I knew how to play, and it was like, the church went up after that. And I was like, hold on. Not on this ABC look.
He said, what?
Yeah, but ever since then though, like, and then of course, like I said, my dad was very heavy in quartet, and so he used to have me and my brother sing at the church all the time. Of course, the church used to get up, but it was me not even realizing, like, as a young man, like, as really a young kid, like, oh man, we really, like, we don't sing these songs for ourselves. We sing these songs for somebody else. We don't play these guitars and play the drums and stuff for ourselves. We doing it to the glory of God and to be a blessing to somebody else. So that's when it started ministering to me. Or it's like, oh, I see somebody actually getting blessed by this.
Did I answer?
Mm-hmm.
What was the question?
You just gave a little input.
I did. Well, ask the question again.
How did it minister to you?
Oh, yeah. Shoot, man. Like I said, it was just for me, it's a safe space. I've never, I don't know, I never felt like I fit anywhere, you know. So music just always, I don't know, man. Yeah, it just always did that for me. It allowed me to like, cause I go in my head a lot. I'm an introvert too, so I'm always like, I spent a lot of time by myself. Even as a kid, I was just lonely. I never had a big group of friends. I guess I was popular at a certain point. I was playing football and stuff, but never like, I don't know. I never been that guy. You feel me? Like so, like yeah, you know. So like, music was just that for me. And then a lot of times, even when I was in high school and stuff, I was like, I don't know. I was embarrassed about it because I love music, but it wasn't a cool thing to be doing. At least where I was going to school. So you know, so I was actually embarrassed that I loved it so much. And I go to. I've always been in church. But I've never really been churchy, so I didn't fit in there either. You know what I mean? Like my family and everybody go to church, but I don't know how to do it like y'all. I still don't know how to shout. Like I don't know how to do all that stuff. You know, the first song I learned how to play was Nothing But a G Thing by Dr. Dre. That's the first thing I learned how to play on the keyboard. You know, that's what had me wanting to play. You know, so I think I'm like I guess a melting pot of all these different like musical expressions. But again, it just allowed me a safe space. And then going to church, my wife tells me that, and I didn't really understand it, but she said when I play, like it opens up a portal. You know what I mean? And I didn't get it, but I don't know. I play what I feel, and it doesn't have to like be intricate. You know what I mean? But it has to feel good. And I maybe I guess I feel like that might be the gift, is knowing what feels good. You know what I mean? Like, and not even knowing how to verbalize it sometimes, or not how to. You know, sometimes I be in rehearsal and these guys are like, they know theory and stuff. I don't know those things. You know what I mean? But like, I know when it feels good. I know when it's right. You know what I mean? And so that's what I try to get to, and that's what I try to get the congregation to. You know, and my chords are, I got some good ones, but most of the time they're simple. You know what I mean? And it's that way on purpose, cause I don't know. I got a vision in mind, and it's to leave this world or whatever I'm a part of, like better than how I found it, you know. So man, I'm sensitive. Y'all gotta pray for me.
It's all
crying, but like
it's
music is
good,
like that's
G.
my I don't let people into this space.
Yeah.
But me, you know what I mean? But so I try to leave things better than how I found them. So if I'm at church, I want it to be better than how I found it. If I got a friend or I got a situation or something, when I get done with it, I want it to be better than how I found it. You know what I mean? So that's very important to me. That's why I try to bring to church. And sometimes it's for me, but most of the time it's not. I'm just looking out. And if you look out and you look at people, like you don't gotta talk to people, like you can feel that energy. And I know, like, I know how I feel after Sunday. Like you be tired and you don't know why. It's cause like you can feel that stuff. You know, you can feel what people going through. You don't really gotta talk to them, but that energy when like all them people come in church on Sunday, like all that energy get in there. You know what I mean? And you gotta kind of like try to guide that. You know what I mean? And also make sure that it's like cool when T Brooks get up. It ain't so much because I know he feeling that too. You know what I mean? So we gotta try to hone all that in. And again, you ain't gonna heal the world in one day. You ain't gonna fix everybody's problems in one day. But every time we show up, we trying to do our part for that day. Of course. You know what I mean? And so, bringing it back to me, like that's my reward. You know, I love seeing people better. If I'm talking to them or if I'm playing or whatever, I just want you to be better because I know what I feel like to be broken. You know what I mean? Like it ain't cool. You know, so whatever you can do to like help people like get whole or feel better, or you know, that's what we try to do with music. Yeah.
So essentially, you all are up there ministering, right?
Yeah.
All of you have talked a great deal, a lot of emotions shared, which is your connection to, the congregation, whoever's watching. When you're playing and you're ministering, if you had a message for those of us who are blessed to hear you play, what is your personal sermon, or what is your personal message of ministry that you want?
I'll take this one.
Tell them neighbor. Tell your neighbor. Oh, yeah. Say, oh, neighbor. Oh, neighbor.
I take this one.
Hey, we can dismiss after that.
I'm good, man.
I'm good.
Nah, for real though, keep pushing. That's all I keep saying.
That's it, man.
Keep pushing. Go ahead, Deacon Ron.
No, same thing. Just don't. It sounds cliche, but you just can't give up. I mean, come too far, man. So you might as well just see it through to the end. You'll have bumps and bruises and stuff like that, but that makes you better. It makes you a lot better, man.
Growing pains.
I don't trust a football player with no grass stains, man. And if your pads and stuff is clean,
This
man.
ain't too clean.
Man, well, you ain't been on the battlefield, man. Nah.
Just stick with it. Hang in there. It gets easier. If you can think about just, talent in general, just the fact that you're blessed by our ministry and playing, that shows that if you stick with it, it just gets better. It definitely got some bumps and bruises along the way. I think I threw my keyboard one time. I just could not figure out the chords. It must have been 2 a.m. or whatever. I was like, okay, it's kind of similar, but there's a missing element. That chord ain't right, and I was just trying to pick it out. But if you stick with it, it gets better. So that's kind of my message to people that are, out in the congregation, whatever you may be going through. Hang in there. It gets better. It gets easier. You're gonna come out.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Marcus. I know you churchy too. Come on. Pull one out you. Come on.
I guess my encouragement would just be, just keep believing, and in God and in yourself, and like he said, I guess if the music, you listen to the music and it blesses you, or allow yourself to receive that, you know what I mean, receive that blessing, and whether it's from the music or the word or whatever, just believe that you receive it, you know what I mean? So which is a big part in that, receiving is one thing, but believing that you receive it is a bigger thing. Allow yourself to believe that and receive it, I guess that would be my encouragement.
Come on, Deacon. That's Mark 9:29. That's the word, boy.
I mean, I guess I'm the same, and I try to teach my kids this too. It's like, I feel like your better days are never behind you. You know what I mean? They're always in front of you. And we just adopted this. I feel like it's from a movie. I don't remember what movie it's from, but it's like always forward, never backwards. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, 2020 was crazy, but we still here, and that's that's a blessing. You know what I mean? To just be here and to be able to make a difference or not make a difference, just surviving. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think we living through this now, so we don't really know how to process it. But 2 or 3 years from now, we gonna really sit back and hey, 2020 was crazy, man.
And we survived it.
We survived it. Hey, but we survived it with some style. You feel me? You know what I mean? We made it through that, and we made it look. We made it look good. But that was tough, man. And looking at our kids and all these masks, and people can't go to church. I understand. Some people find their identity in that. You know what I mean? And I feel like some of us musicians, some of our homies, they ain't been able to do what they do, you know what I mean? So sometimes, when you get thrown off your routine or your, you know what I mean? That's tough to have to sit back and, deal with yourself, you know what I mean? Because sometimes we just go and go and go and go and go, and, got to sit back and deal with yourself. But 2020 made us sit back and, you got to look at yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get to look at your family members. You get to look at the congregation. You get to look, what's really going on? What are we really doing? What's this really for, And it was eye-opening. And again, we still here, so that's a blessing, And I don't know, I still feel like the best days are in front. We made it through that, And then, like I said, it was tough, but we good, That's a blessing, So I hope I answered the question.
Yeah. Okay. Two more.
All right.
You kind of alluded to where I want to go next. 2020 was definitely insane. You all didn't seem to miss a beat. Right? Mm-hmm. It would, if somebody was just watching Bayview services, watching you all, you wouldn't think there was a pandemic, right? And it's not just with you all, but you all steady vibe with Brooks. Like, you all always in sync. What's that like, making sure that you're vibing and in sync with Brooks?
Man, T Brooks make us all feel. He make me feel lazy. That's why. That man, he is a working machine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, like, I don't know. He just make you wanna. And it's hard. You know, some days. Sometimes it ain't hard, but some days it's just hard. But you look at it's different when you got a leader that's like working with you or fighting with you, or like some leaders like to like sit on their throne and kind of like dictate. You know what I mean? But T Brooks is like. He in the trenches, you know what I mean? Which sometimes make him a little overbearing, you know, because he is in the trenches, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you watching him work too, you know what I mean? So that makes that make a world of a difference. I watched this man try to figure it out. He ain't never been in no pandemic like none of us have. But we watch that man come in every day and try to figure it out, try to come with some solutions, you know, and so that make you want to, he make you want to step your game up and try to do your part too, you know.
Because he tried. That's why we go so hard and we flow and we watch him and we do our part. That's all we had to do is do our part, you know. Like, the pandemic has been hard, it's been rough or whatever, but we still had to do our part. At the end of the day, we still had to do our part and make sure we flowing and, you know, watching the service, flowing with the service, you know. Like, church, you know, even though, you know, during the pandemic and we've been pre-recording or whatever, church is so unpredictable, man. Church is so unpredictable. Like, you can be real quiet, playing talking chorus. I know what, you know, T Brooks get happy. All right, we here then, come on. We here. Set up, hold up. But that's why we go so hard and then we continue to flow him because we know he got our back, you know. And me being here only a year, I know for sure, like, I can see how genuine he is, you know? Just a genuine person in his character, period. Like he said, if we in the trenches, if we feel like we in the trenches, I know for sure Brooks in the trenches with us. You know, he got us. You know? That's why we continue to go hard and flow with him.
And I love how Brooks is he's only 44, 45. Like, he's smart.
Hey man, hey,
He's such a
34,
smart.
man. Hold on.
Oh, he's such a smart person. He's such a smart person, man. Like, when you hear him preach and you hear his sermons, you can tell. You can tell. You can tell.
From the
like,
G.
he's just a smart. He's a smart individual. He's a smart man. And there's men that are in their 60s not nowhere near him. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate Brooks for appreciating us. Yeah, because we go 110% at least. You know what I'm saying? So
120.
I was thinking about $1.25.
30.
And 45.
I guess I'll go. I really appreciate Pastor Brooks. A lot of the churches I kind of grew up at were kind of like the pastor is kind of separated. You know, like they say, woe to the one as a shepherd that doesn't smell like sheep. So, yeah, but I kind of grew up around a lot of those types of pastors that, you know, just kind of wasn't a part of the worship. Just kind of came in when it was his time to speak, and you know, red carpet. The roll, roll the red carpet out.
Stop the music.
Everything.
Everybody stand.
Yeah, right. Yep. And after the turn, you can't get a hold of him. He's in the clouds. So Pastor Brooks has just made me feel like family, personally. He comes right up to you, speaks to you, and you know, he doesn't, you know, put himself on a pedestal. And I really appreciate that. That just makes me want to, you know, get in the trenches and, you know, do what needs to be done. Just, it's very inspiring.
T Brooks is Phil Jackson, you know? Like,
That's facts.
and when you work with somebody like Phil Jackson, like you work with somebody like Phil Jackson, then you want to give them your best. They give you their best. You want to give them, you know, your best, and you see the result of that around you. You know, yeah, I mean, I heard him mention it earlier, like, you know, having other people around you, him and the band, having them around you is just, you know, what more could you ask for? I guess in a situation or a team unit, you know, what more could you ask for? You know, from Phil Jackson. So,
Yeah, same. Like a lot of people been asking me, especially over the course of the years that I've been at Bayview, because I'm extreme. I might be an extreme introvert, so a lot of people don't know me on a personal level, and it's that way on purpose. Like, you know, but Bayview has, man, yeah, it's been, for me personally, it's been healing. You know, like I said, I didn't feel like I fit. T. Brooks is the first one that made me feel like, you know, what you got. I don't know what you think you got. Him and Marcus. These are my guys. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know what you're thinking, but that's good. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And so it's been giving me confidence. You know what I mean? Like that I didn't have. Like I said, I knew I was decent, but like the confidence that I have now is from being around this, being loved, like continuous, being like, that's fire. Good job. Like every week I go into these meetings and stuff, and it's overwhelming for me. I don't know how to like. I be going home. My wife be trying to teach me how to like accept this kind of stuff, cause you know what I mean. No, you know what I mean? Like no, for real. Like I'm used to like being invisible. You know what I mean? I'm used to walking by people and just feeling invisible. So now it's like now I'm here and it's like nah. Now you're you. You know what I mean? Hopefully that makes sense. And now it's like now it's weird that you ain't speaking to people. Now it's weird that you kind of standoffish. Now it's weird. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, that hurts people's feelings now. And I never thought about it like that. But now like just being around this and seeing like what I bring to the table, and again, T. Brooks helped me to like, I don't know, man. He helped me to like, I don't know, man. Yeah, he just helped me to see that. I feel like he helped us all to see that. Baby has been like, for lack of a better term, it's just been a healing space. You know what I mean? Like it's been a healing space for me, and I'm just grateful. Like I hit him the other day. Like certain people ain't replaceable. Bayview not replaceable to me. I don't know where I end up 5-10 years from now, but in my heart, like certain things is not replaceable. You know what I mean? And like this time, these years, and what we build and stuff, like it's not replaceable. It's been a blessing. And again, hopefully I'm answering y'all questions, but like I'm just trying to tell y'all how I feel. Like it's been a blessing. T. Brooks, Phil Jackson. He that nigga. Yeah. He that, like, you know what I mean? He that, man. He that guy, man. Cut that out. Yeah, he that dude, man. Yeah.
Well, first, appreciate all of you sharing, you know, probably some parts of you that people didn't ask or people may not ever ask. I appreciate that. Just kind of pouring out, you know, your journey. So last thing I will ask, or last statement you all can make is, if you had to give a message to Brooks right now, what would you tell him?
Thank you.
Thank you, T. Brooks.
Thank you, Brooks.
Thank you, Brooks.
Thank you, Brooks. Man.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
Thank
For real.
Listen, a lot of stuff y'all see happening from the church and even my personal life and even all the music and stuff that we doing, like he is like, I don't know, he got a lot to do with that. He got a lot to do with that. And he don't make music, you know what I mean? But he just, he got a lot to do with it. You know what I mean? He got a lot to do with it. And now we all know he ain't perfect. T. Brooks is a gangster. You feel me? Like, and so, but at the same time, it's just like he got a lot to do with what y'all see happening. I've never served under a leader so selfless. He say that about me, him, and Dwayne. It's like no big eyes and little U's. You know what I mean? And that's how I try to lead. It's the same way, you know what I mean? No big eyes and little you. He don't do that. He in the trenches. I called him a couple months ago with an issue that I've been battling with, and nobody knows about, and nobody ain't even heard about that issue. You know what I mean? And he just been, I don't know. But you know, it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing to have people like I feel like we need people that like in leadership that care about people. It's a lot of people. And it's so funny to me, like people can like, I always talk about this, how you can just go be a preacher. Or how you can just go start a church without no license you know what I mean? You gotta get a license to be a barber. But T. Brooks, I don't know. He ain't like that. And like, I don't need nobody perfect around me because I ain't perfect. But at the same time, you gotta care. I care deeply about people. You know what I mean? And often don't know how to show that. But my heart, like, I care about my friends. I care about people. I want, like, again, when we leave this earth, I just want it to be better. When we leave this church or when we leave whatever, I want it to be better. And I feel like D. Brooks on that same agenda. You know what I mean? And I don't know what else you can ask from a leader. You know? Like,
I was gonna say that. I was like, if Brooks don't do nothing else, man, he's been more than generous to us, you know, with his time and, just to what we do is, I've never been a part of a church like this before. Brooks is like, he's personal, you know what I'm saying? He'll come up to you like Noah said, hey, how you guys doing? Fist pumps, whatever. Just that alone.
When I called him, when I called him, it wasn't no fist bumps. He was ready to fight. He was ready to go to war when I called him.
But I'm saying just when he's walking in church, and he comes up and greets us, like, that's cool with me. I'm good with that. Because they don't do nothing. They don't, I didn't
seen the grandpastors come up after the praise and worship get done. They walking down the aisle, walking up to the church like,
yeah, man.
Where you been?
Yeah.
Hey, no, I said that before because he was like, oh, you need to be out here where I'm preaching. I said, well, you wasn't out here when we was playing. So. Yeah, we even,
they show church. Yeah, he's thorough, man. Brooks, you thorough, man. We appreciate you.
Appreciate it. I think we all got to answer that one. Come on, everybody say something. Everybody talk?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, we can clap it up now.
Okay.
Blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. Oh, what a foretaste of glory divine. I'm an heir of salvation, and I've been purchased by God. I am born of His Spirit, so glad I'm washed in His cleansing blood. Well, this is my story. This is my song. I'm just praising my Savior. Oh, the day long. This is my story. Hey, this is my song. I'm just praising my Savior.